This is Nora Chen. We need to talk about something that's quietly draining the finances of millions of people who think they're doing exactly the right thing. Imagine you're told there's a magical key to financial freedom. They say all you have to do is hustle. Pick up a side gig, drive for a rideshare app, deliver some food, or freelance your skills online. They promise you control over your schedule, infinite earning potential, and the ultimate escape from the standard 9-to-5 grind. Sounds perfect, doesn't it? But here is the problem. What they call a side hustle has, for many, silently mutated into a full-time trap. In economics, we often look at systems, tracing where the money actually flows. And when you trace the money in the contemporary gig economy, the reality is stark, chilling, and meticulously designed to keep you running on a hamster wheel. You see, the gig economy didn't emerge just because technology allowed us to connect riders with drivers or hungry people with restaurants. It emerged because massive corporations realized they could completely sidestep a century of labor laws, shifting every single ounce of risk, liability, and operational cost directly onto the shoulders of the individual worker. When you look at the math, you aren't an independent contractor building a business. You are an unprotected employee paying for the privilege of working. Tonight, we're going to peel back the layers of this system. We will look at how algorithms manipulate behavior, why the payout structure is designed to diminish over time, and how the massive influx of venture capital initially subsidized an illusion that is now violently correcting itself. Grab a warm drink, settle in, and let's decode the gig economy trap together. Let me give you a number that might surprise you. According to recent labor studies, nearly 1/3 of the global workforce participates in some form of freelance or gig work. That is hundreds of millions of people. But here is the statistic that the shiny tech platforms bury in their terms of service, after accounting for vehicle depreciation, personal insurance, self-employment taxes, and uncompensated waiting time. A significant percentage of gig workers are making less than the minimum wage in their respective cities. Wait, let me rephrase that. They are not just making less than minimum wage. In some hours, when the algorithms shift the surge pricing dynamically beneath their feet, they are actively losing money by being logged into the app. We've replaced the factory floor supervisor with an opaque algorithm that dictates your worth minute by minute, completely shielding the parent company from any basic human accountability. To understand how we arrived here, we need to look back at the origins of these platforms. In the early 2010s, riding on a wave of unprecedented zero-interest rate monetary policy, venture capital firms threw billions of dollars into tech startups. Their mandate was simple: achieve monopoly at all costs. To get there, companies like Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, and others artificially subsidized both sides of the market. They offered artificially low prices to consumers to build a massive, addictive user base. Simultaneously, they offered massive, unsustainable bonuses to drivers and workers to build supply. Do you remember when taking a private car across town was cheaper than a bus ticket, and drivers were making $30 or $40 an hour easily? That wasn't a sustainable business model. That was venture capital essentially paying you to change your habits. They were burning cash to starve out traditional businesses like taxi medallions and local courier services. It was purely a predatory pricing strategy disguised as tech innovation. But the free money era couldn't last forever. As interest rates eventually normalized and investors demanded profitability, these companies had to tighten the belt. And they didn't tighten it by reducing executive compensation or shrinking their corporate real estate. They tightened it by squeezing the only variable cost they fully controlled: user fees, which they raised, and worker payouts, which they ruthlessly slashed. The transition was gradual, almost imperceptible. A slight change in the mileage rate here, a modification to the bonus structure there. Suddenly, workers who had quit their traditional jobs to become their own bosses found themselves working 50, 60, or 70 hours a week just to maintain the absolute bare minimum standard of living. Let's talk about the psychological manipulation embedded in these apps. Behavioral economists call it gamification, but a more accurate term might be algorithmic wage discrimination. When you log into a platform, you aren't just seeing a neutral marketplace. The app's interface is carefully designed using the same psychological triggers found in casino slot machines. You get flashing lights, arbitrary quests, and dynamic heat maps showing where you could be making money if you just drove 5 miles away. Look at how they use variable ratio scheduling. If a psychological reward, in this case, a high-paying gig, is guaranteed every single time, people actually lose interest or simply work until they hit their daily monetary goal and then go home. But if the reward is unpredictable, sometimes you get a $20 tip, sometimes you drive for an hour to make $3, the brain releases a specific pattern of dopamine that compels you to keep logging in. It's the exact same psychological mechanism that keeps a gambler pulling the lever on a slot machine. The platforms know this. They hire teams of neuroscientists to optimize the interface, ensuring that the worker stays online longer, accepting lower and lower base fares, chasing the elusive high of a good ride. Furthermore, the algorithm begins to personalize your pay rate. If the data shows that you consistently accept lower-paying jobs because you are desperate to make rent by the end of the week, the system will start routing the lowest-paying, most undesirable tasks exclusively to you, knowing you will take them. It is hyper-optimized exploitation masked as an algorithm. And then there is the illusion of flexibility. The primary pitch of the gig economy has always been, be your own boss. Work when you want. But anyone who has relied on this income knows the reality is far more sinister. Yes, there is no human manager forcing you to clock in at 9 a.m. But there is a financial manager, an algorithm, that controls the economic incentives so tightly that your so-called flexibility is a complete mirage. If you decide to take a Friday evening off, the system penalizes you. It might drop your rating, alter your priority matching algorithm, or disqualify you from weekend bonuses that make the rest of the week's low pay sustainable. Your freedom to choose your hours is simply the freedom to choose which specific hours you want to be underpaid in order to survive. And while you are being your own boss, you are also your own HR department, your own benefits coordinator, and your own insurance provider. When your car breaks down, there is no paid time off. When you get sick, there is no sick leave. When you retire, there is no company-matched 401k. The risk has been entirely socialized onto the individual, while the profits are privatized to corporate headquarters in Silicon Valley. It's an incredible shift in the macroeconomic landscape. For decades, the labor movement fought to establish basic safety nets, the weekend, minimum wage, workers' compensation. The gig economy companies didn't fight those laws head-on. They simply reclassified their entire workforce as independent contractors, completely sidestepping a century of hard-won worker protections. So, where does this leave us? The economic fallout is beginning to manifest in our broader economy. We are seeing an entire generation of workers who are generating massive amounts of economic output but are entirely stripped of capital accumulation. They are not building equity in a career, they are not receiving promotions, and they are definitely not building a safety net. This leads to a macroeconomic condition of persistent precarity. When consumers have no savings and are living edge to edge, relying on algorithms for their next dollar, the broader economy suffers. Consumer spending drops, housing instability rises, and the systemic risk of an economic downturn intensifies. Yet, it's not all hopeless. We are starting to see significant pushback. Workers are organizing in decentralized ways, using social media and encrypted chats to share algorithmic patterns, coordinate mass log-offs, and petition for reclassification. Lawmakers in various corners of the globe are waking up to the reality that a company dictating pricing, assigning work, and controlling the customer relationship is, by definition, an employer, no matter what their terms of service claim. The illusion is breaking. Slowly but surely, the costs of this model are being exposed. As consumers, we have to recognize that the artificially cheap delivery or the magically inexpensive ride was always being subsidized by someone's unpaid labor. We have to start asking difficult questions about the true cost of convenience. The trap is intricate, and it's designed to make you feel like your lack of progress is a personal failure. But I need you to hear this. If you are running as fast as you can in the gig economy and still falling behind, it is not your fault. You are playing a game where the rules are written by an algorithm designed to extract your value while minimizing your compensation. It's a fundamental shift in how capital interacts with labor, and it requires our absolute awareness to navigate. Thank you for spending this time with me tonight. If this breakdown helped you see things a little more clearly, I'd deeply appreciate it if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel. We post content navigating these silent economic shifts regularly, and I'd love for you to join our community. Your support means everything as we decode the numbers together. Until next time, stay observant, keep a close eye on where the money really flows, and sleep well.